I'm Nicholas David Nan of the Centre for Conscious Ascension. I'd like to talk to you today about what is divine healing. Are you ready to heal completely and deeply and easily? Be clear enough emotionally so you can become empowered to really achieve your dreams in life, those things which seem unattainable. And in that process, reconnect to your true essence and tap into your gifts and qualities. And as you do that, you can experience more love, joy, fun and abundance in your life. And just feel a master of your life, and as a result feel fully alive. Well, at the Centre for Conscious Ascension, Ariel, Halea and some colleagues have developed Divine Healing. And it's a 3-day healing course whose purpose is to open you to grace and provide you with a simple, quick and profound and very accurate set of healing tools which uses consciousness brought to our emotional separation patterns to reconnect you to spirit at all levels, empower you and provide you keys to enlightenment. We're primarily working with the human ego, and this is our interface to the reality that our soul creates when we come in from the higher dimensions. And you can think of the ego as a big onion, and there are many layers of it. And within this onion we have the flame of consciousness, which is the true essence of who you are, the love of the soul, the consciousness that you brought in from the higher dimensions. And divine healing allows you to find and peel the layers of the ego onion in the right order so you can get back to the light and the love that you truly are. And so what happens in the human experience is that we have a lot of emotional separation. Think of it as metaphorically the mud in our life. And these patterns, they limit us, they create a negative context of a lot of things we don't like in our lives. And it can at times seem like a real struggle to actually get to what we feel is right for us in life. And so if we are on the healing journey and the awakening journey, what happens is that we start to grow lotuses out of the mud. This is a Buddhist model here. We transmute the mud into amazing things, into our gifts here on earth. And divine healing is about the transmutation of this process, transmutation of the mud, so that we can turn it into our lotuses, our gifts, and we can escape the mire of this separation consciousness. And in the Buddhist model we accept all things as part of the one. And so the key aspect of healing for moving into growing more lotuses in your life is a willingness and a desire and courage to bring consciousness into the issue which is blocking you in your life, which is the red ball here. It's about bringing feeling consciousness to the issue and expanding that feeling consciousness as much as we can into that issue, because our ego wants to keep all parts of ourselves unconscious, because then it maintains us in separation from higher consciousness, from all that is. And so it's not enough just to understand what our issues are. It's actually important to bring that feeling consciousness, ground ourselves in our bodies and feel it, and then it can begin to transmute. And divine healing is designed to actually infuse your consciousness into the issues and provide you the tools to dismantle these issues in your life. At times some of our issues seem to be really persistent, and it seems we can never change them, no matter what we do. And this happens because we often have a barrier, this turquoise layer on the outside here, something. It could be shock, it could be trauma, it could just be ego defense mechanisms and resistance, which numbs out and buries the issue. And if you can't feel the issue here, the red circle here, then you can't heal it. It's still going to sabotage your life. So once you break through this outer protective covering that the ego places on our emotional issues. And so what happens is that healing becomes possible when we break through this barrier. And this is what divine healing does. It provides the tools to bring consciousness to the unconscious parts of ourselves. And we can start to feel the issue. And in the training we work as a group to support each other, to break through the issues with grace and ease, and shift the energy. And as we shift the energy, spirit descends, and grace infuses into us, and they transmute and they release, and then we can integrate the effects of that, and then we become free of a layer of our onion. So I'd like to give you some broader context of how we as humans are built, and how divine healing helps you to reconnect to who you really are. The human personality part of you, the impermanent part of you here, is made up of 4 elements. There's our mental body, which is our linear ego mind, which is trying to figure everything out. And it's limited to this earthly reality. It's always looking at what happened in the past to make sure it doesn't happen again in the future. We have our emotional body, which is where our separation patterns are stored. And these are the things which are blocking the happiness and joy and reconnection to spirit in our life. We have the 7 energy bodies here. We have the physical body. Where we came from before we came here is called the higher self. This is the permanent part of us. And this has 3 elements. It has an atmic body, which is our God self, a buddhic body, which is our higher emotional body, and a non-linear mind that just knows things. It's like Mozart was downloading symphonies when he was 7. This is where it comes from. And most importantly, we have this little blue line here is called the Antakarana, and this is the connection from the higher self to the lower self, our personality. This is actually what keeps us alive. This is the flow of life force and consciousness. And on the left hand side here we have a scale frequency from low to higher in frequency. This is actually how we as humans are built, and we're going to transform this connection here in order to create more love and joy and bliss and clarity in our life. And here's how we do it. When we use divine healing progressively over time on ourselves or on others, what we're actually doing is we're clearing the emotional separation patterns here, and in the emotional body, and the mental body, and patterns in the energy body, and also the physical body. And we're expanding this Antakarana. It's going wider. And as we expand it, this allows the unconditional love from our higher self to come into us. Because our ego spends so much time judging ourselves, or itself, and this actually locks our programs in. And as this unconditional love comes in, the healing process gets easier and life becomes more peaceful. And we keep working on ourselves over the years. What happens is the Antakarana gets even bigger, so we get clearer, life flows even more easily, and more unconditional love comes into the lower part of our consciousness down here. And if we keep progressing on this, then we're completely flooded with unconditional love, and we're much clearer, and so the barrier between the lower self, the impermanent part, and the higher self is really dissolved, and this is where we're getting to the point of ego dissolution. And this is where we live that life of grace, ease and joy and peace, and we're manifesting our purpose because we're much more connected and our ego is not in the way anymore. And so the effect of this is to do the following. This is called the spiritual map of life, model I've developed. And most of us are following the path of the ego, the path of suffering as the Buddha calls it. Okay? And suffering is caused by attachment to the way the ego thinks things should be in life. And you can think of this little blue circle here as the human ego trying to work it all out here on earth. And it's a real struggle because there's our little ego and then there's the rest of the universe. And so what we're doing with divine healing is that we're clearing the ego so it's no longer dominant in our life. We're starting to move ourselves with the process of divine healing to follow the spiritual signature. And the spiritual signature is following the path of spirit each moment. It's if you were to able to feel your heart in each moment on the next right action, and you follow wherever your heart opened, you start to follow the spiritual signature here. And that is the path of bliss, because when you follow the spiritual signature, life opens, is joyful and graceful, and life comes to you rather than us having to fight and make it happen. And so initially what happens here is that we're trying to converge on the path of bliss here. We converge, then we go a bit unconscious because ego takes over. And as we do some divine healing, we converge again, and actually our divergence is less. And after a while, we basically converge and follow the spiritual signature. And life opens and becomes blissful. And I've been doing this for the past 8 years, and my life's completely transformed as I move from the path of the ego, the path of suffering here, and surrender to the flow of my spirit and of my heart using divine healing. And so life is quite amazing now in what happens, because I'm allowing the vastness, the higher consciousness of spirit, my higher self, this part here, which is much more expanded than the little ego here, to guide me in each moment of my life. And so divine healing overall takes you from this path of suffering to following the true flow of your spirit, which is not necessarily what your mind believes it should do. And this is actually how you reach enlightenment. This is actually how you create a fulfilled life. This is how you manifest your soul destiny or life purpose. And this is how you break through your karma and bring on your talents and achieve your goals in life. So if you'd like to learn more about following the path of bliss, we run a divine healing training regularly, and you can find more about it, more about it by going to the Center for Conscious Ascension.net. That center spelled with an ER. Then click on Trainings. Then click on Divine Healing Master Key. You can find out more how you can actually do this for yourself and for others. We spent years at the Center for Conscious Ascension looking for a tool to clear our own separation patterns, and it took a long time, lots of exploration of other modalities, until our mirror decided to develop something for herself, and we found this is the tool that gave us both the breakthrough to living a better life and carrying out our missions of service here on earth and creating more love and abundance in our lives. There's also the link down the bottom here which takes you directly to the information about the training. So I hope I've shared something here which may be of help to you in your life. It'd be great to hear from you. Thank you for listening.